Most setups don't actually look bad because of all the gear sitting on the desk. They look bad because of a few things that almost nobody on this app is talking about. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through every single one of them in the exact order you should be doing them in. This video is going to be a 30-day setup transformation plan, the same one I use for myself and the same one I tell every single person who DMs me asking why their setup looks off. And it doesn't require you to tear your room apart, sell your kidney, or spend $5,000 on new gear to actually pull it off. Your setup is the physical space where every hour you spend gaming, working, or creating is going to happen. So if your room is fighting you in any way, shape, or form, every single thing you try to do ends up being a lot harder than it needs to be. And that's exactly why getting this right matters way more than people think. Now, I've built this setup more than once. I've helped my friends build their setups from scratch, and I've reviewed thousands of your setups in the comments and DMs, and the pattern is always the same. It really comes down to 5 pieces: the desk, the lighting, the peripherals, the decorations, and the cable management. So let's actually get into it in this video. Number 1 is the desk. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a small size desk, or maybe you're just not happy with the way it looks and you see all these flashy setups that have a much better looking desk, trust me, your desk is the first thing you need to change, and most people just won't tell you that. Most people tell you to change your keyboard or upgrade your PC, when the truth is the desk is the single thing that you should spend real money on. Not the chair, not the keyboard, it's your desk. The desk is the only piece in your entire setup that's going to last you 5+ years and dictate how everything on top of it ends up looking, because you can swap your chair, you can swap your monitor, you can swap literally everything else, but your desk just stays the same. And that's the exact reason why you should put most of your focus on the core, the building block of your entire setup, which is your desk. Now, the best way to look for desks is actually just looking at other desk setups as inspiration and seeing which ones you like the most. For example, you can go on Pinterest or on TikTok and just search up gaming setups or white gaming setups, whatever vibe you are going for, and look at the desks that they have. Now, once you have a few setups in mind, make sure you screenshot them or save them on your phone. Then take those screenshots that you actually saved on your phone and look at what's actually the same across every single one of them. The shape, the size, the color, the legs, the surface, because the pattern across your favorite setups is literally telling you which desk you want. And from there, you take any one of those screenshots, drop it into Google Images or any reverse image search tool, and you'll find exactly where that desk came from in about 30 seconds. That's how everyone you follow on this app is finding gear, and nobody you actually look up to is sitting there browsing some sort of website from scratch. They're all reverse engineering setups that they liked or they saw somewhere on social media, and you should be doing the exact same thing if you want to save time. Now, to give you my own example of how I did this myself, I went on Pinterest, found a desk frame that I really liked, and I ended up going with the FlexiSpot E7 Pro for the legs, which is the standing desk frame that makes my setup go up and down with the controller. Then I drove to Home Depot and grabbed a desktop with the exact dimensions that I needed to fit both my monitors plus my PC sitting on top, and I painted the desk white myself, and that's actually the desk you're looking at right now. Now, if you want to see the exact one I'm using, I did drop the link in the description below so you can grab it for yourself. And one quick heads up while you're thinking about dimensions: if you're planning a bigger setup with multiple monitors, a full-size PC on the desk, speakers, all of it, go with a bigger size desk, even bigger than you think you need. There's nothing worse than building your setup and realizing 6 months in that you've completely run out of space because your setup is just too big. That's actually something I struggle with personally. I used to have a small desk and I had to upgrade to a bigger desk, which just ended up wasting a lot of my money. Now, real quick before we keep going, every single thing in my setup is linked in the description at the bottom of this video. So if you're ever curious about where any specific piece in my setup came from, that's the place to check first. Most of what I bought for this setup is actually from TikTok shop, and some of it being on Amazon. And the honest reason I lean towards TikTok for setup gear is the fact that the prices on TikTok are a lot harder to beat, especially for smaller pieces that you really don't want to be overpaying for. You can obviously buy from wherever place that you want, but if you're trying to outfit a full setup without absolutely draining your bank account, TikTok is where I'd be looking first. Now, while you're picking your desk, you also need to lock in your monitor layout, because your monitor layout dictates how much desk space you actually need. Now, to save you time on trying to invent the wheel, take a look at this image on your screen, because almost every setup you've ever seen on this app falls into one of these 9 layouts. Number 1 is the basic single horizontal monitor, which is honestly all that most people actually need. and there's nothing wrong with running a single screen setup if your work doesn't demand more than one. Number 2 is a single ultra wide, and if you do a lot of editing or gaming or a lot of design work, an ultra wide is probably one of the cleanest options you can get because there's no bezel on the screen or any splits in your layout, which is actually kind of nice to have. Number 3 is the classic dual horizontal setup, 2 regular monitors side by side, simple, balanced, and it fits on pretty much any desk that you buy. Now, number 4 is 1 horizontal monitor in the middle with a vertical monitor next to it, whether that be on the left or right, which is actually the current monitor layout that I run personally. Now, I'll go over why this is my favorite layout in a different video, but if you're starting out, I do think this is one of the best layouts that you can get, and I do highly recommend it if you are building a setup that you took from inspiration. Number 5 is 3 monitors, all horizontal, which can look amazing if your desk is wide enough to actually carry all 3 monitors, but most desks just aren't built for that many monitors, so you really need to plan for it before you buy. Now, I'm not going to go over all the rest of them in this video, but once you have a picture in mind of what your monitor layout would look like, that's when you actually go ahead and decide the size of your desk. For 90% of you watching this video, layout number 4, which is the horizontal monitor in the middle and the vertical monitor on the side, is going to be more than enough, and you really don't need to chase 3 or 6 monitors unless that's what you're actually going for, because having so many monitors plus a PC plus, you know, speakers and all the extra peripherals, that'll just take up a lot of space, and odds are the desk that you buy won't have enough space for that many things. And again, the PC goes on the desk, not under it, not on the floor, not tucked into some cabinet. Your PC is honestly one of the best looking objects that you own, and shoving it under a desk or hiding it is just something that you shouldn't do. Now, while we're talking about desks, we need to talk about monitor arms, because if there's one upgrade in this entire video that punches way above its price tag, monitor arms are it. And I genuinely don't know why people aren't using them in their setups. Monitor arms do 2 huge things at the same time. First, they let you position your monitor into literally any configuration you can think of, so you're not stuck with whatever stand the monitor came with. And second, most of them come with cable management sliders built right into the arm itself, which means your monitors end up looking like they're floating mid-air with 0 cables attached, and that is the look you've been seeing on every single setup that's ever made you stop scrolling, because it just looks absolutely clean. Now, one quick rule on monitor arms before we move on: match the color of the arms to the rest of your setup, because they're sitting at eye level and you're gonna look at them every single day. So if you have a white setup, get white monitor arms, and if you have a black setup, get black monitor arms. Now, number 2 is lighting, and this is the one almost nobody on this app actually gets right. Lighting matters more than your gear. You can have a $5,000 setup, and if it's getting lit by the same white ceiling that lights your bathroom, the whole thing is gonna look like a Best Buy display no matter what you put on the desk. Now, the trap most people fall into is overcorrecting the other way and slapping RGB on every surface in the room. That isn't lighting, that's just noise. The actual recipe is 3 layers. Layer 1 is a monitor light. The one I personally use is the Quintus monitor light, which is one of the most affordable ones you can get, and it absolutely does the job. Even a cheap monitor light does the same thing for your eyes that nothing else can match. And as a side effect, if you ever sit on a camera at the desk, it also lights your face up for free. It's actually what's happening right now. Now, layer 2 is ambient lighting behind your monitor or above your setup. And what I have personally is a shelf above my PC with 3 puck lights mounted underneath, one on the left, one on the right, and one right in the middle, pointing down at the desk. That single change does more for the feel of the setup than any keyboard or mouse pad ever will. Now, layer 3 is optional, but having accent lights at the back or behind your monitors can look pretty nice. I don't have it on all the time, but it can make a nice little lighting effect when you're recording or just looking at your setup. Too much light flattens the setup out and it looks tacky. Too little light is way more common, and it makes the whole room feel dim and unfinished. Most of you watching right now don't have enough light in your setup, so add layers and not brighter bulbs. Last thing on lighting, and this rule applies to every section after this one, so really lock it in. You want to use 2 or 3 colors max across the entire setup. The wall, the desk, the gear, the lights, the mousepad, decorations, all of it lives inside of those 2 or 3 colors. If your desk is wood, the wall is is gray, your monitor is black, your keyboard is rainbow, your puck lights are red. That's 6 colors fighting for your eye, and nothing about that room is gonna feel right when you walk into it. Pick 2 or 3, maybe 4, stick to them, and that's the whole rule. Now, number 3 is peripherals, and specifically the mouse pad. And most setup videos skim right past this part right here. Your mouse pad is the single most visible surface on your desk, and what you put on it matters more than what people think. Now, there are 2 paths you can go down. Path 1 is a full-sized cloth mouse pad, which is the path I personally went with, and the one I'm wearing right now is a 36 by 16 inch white and blue cloth mouse pad that fits the colors of the rest of my setup, and the size you want is at minimum the width of your monitor, maybe a touch bigger than that. Path 2 is for people who don't want cloth, in which case go with a glass mouse pad, and even though glass isn't really my personal favorite, it can absolutely work as long as you design the rest of the setup around it the right way. And the nice thing about glass is it doesn't have to be full size to look right. Either way, the color and the finish have to fit the 2 or 3 colors of the rest of the setup. I know some of you running 5 or 6 colors in your setups, but the cleanest setups you've ever seen on this app are sitting at 2 or 3 colors max, and your peripherals and your mouse pad are what your eye lands on first when it scans your desk, so it's worth getting them right in the first place. Number 4 is decorations. The thing is, decorations actually make a huge part of how your setup ends up looking. Adding that extra personality to your setup will make a huge difference, trust me. The biggest decoration in the entire room is actually the wall behind your setup, and most people don't even realize it counts. Pull up any setup that's ever stopped you mid-scroll, mentally crop the wall behind it, and you'll realize instantly that without the wall, it's not even close to the same setup. What I did in my own room is I added these geometric white panels behind my monitors, about 30 pieces of them that I grabbed off of Amazon, and I glued them straight onto the wall behind my desk. And the exact same setup against a plain wall would look completely different. Now, you don't have to do exactly what I did because there are hundreds of other ways to do this. You can search up setup wall panels or gaming setup wall on Pinterest and pick whichever option fits the 2 or 3 colors that you locked in. Once the wall is handled, then you start adding smaller decorations on top of it. For me, that's a hanging plant above my PC, mini plants under my monitor, a keyboard display on the shelf, and even some katanas on the wall above my desk. Now, none of that is specifically required, but it does give a lot of personality to your setup, and it can make the difference between a 7 out of 10 setup and a 10 out of 10 setup. Now, if you're stuck on what to actually use, Pinterest is the move. Again, search up setup decorations or gaming setup decorations, and you'll have so many ideas in about 5 minutes. Trust me, it's one of the best ways to get setup ideas. The only filter you need is whether those pieces can actually fit into those 2 or 3 primary colors that you locked in. There's also a bonus tip about decorations that almost nobody talks about, and that's that they are one of the best ways to hide cables. The mini plants under my desk monitors aren't there only to look nice. They're physically hiding every single one of my cables running out back of those monitors. A picture frame, a small shelf, anything with a base and a vertical edge can hide your cable a lot better, which means your decorations and your cable management end up doing the same job at the same time, which brings me to my last step, which is number 5, cable management. And I'll be straight with you, this is the section most of you watching this video right now need to hear the most, because the best lighting, the best peripherals, and the best decorations in the world don't matter if your setup looks like an octopus exploded right behind it. Cable management isn't a cleanup, it's a system, and it makes the whole difference in the world. The other half of this step is desk clutter, and this is the biggest visual upgrade you can make in 5 minutes for $0. Literally take everything off your desk that you don't actively use every single day. 3 things live on the desk: your input devices, your monitor, and your speakers. That's it. Anything else outside of those 3 things has a home off the desk, whether that's a drawer, a shelf, cable, whatever it is. You can place it, you can find somewhere else to place it. Empty desk space is the actual thing that makes a setup come off as expensive more than any individual piece of gear you could ever put on it. So once you've stripped out the clutter and built a real cable system, you're basically done. Now, I can't go over all the cable management tips and tricks I use in this video since that that would take too much time, but I will be making a step-by-step video on how to actually build a cable management system that stays clean and uncluttered all the time in a different video, and I'll have that video linked at the description down below once it comes out. That's the whole playbook: desk, lighting, decorations, cables, in that exact order. And those 5 things together turned a random corner of your room into a setup that actually feels finished and feels like yours. If you found this helpful, drop a comment and let me know. I'll be answering all your questions down there, so make sure you put them in the comments. If you're ever curious about the gear I use, you can find links to everything in my setup at the description below as well. I've got a lot more content on the way, diving into things like setup symmetry, advanced lighting, the best peripherals, audio setups, and full PC builds where I break down every component that actually matters in your setup to make it look the absolute best. So if that sounds like something that interests you, make sure you subscribe and follow along, and I'll see you in the next video.